Right, hello and welcome to... Oh, sorry, I'm just going to put this down so it might be a bit of a creak. Welcome to the podcast. Meanwhile, in the Falklands. We're still not in the Falklands, although we're in a different part of the country now. We're in Gloucestershire.
Yes, we are. Hello there, listener.
Did you see my voice then? Because there's a very pertinent reason for that. Because at the end of the last podcast that went up, none went up last week because it was a bank holiday, but the week before, I normally trim it, but I hadn't trimmed it. And they didn't trim it in the Falklands. So at the end, we have our podcast voices on, and then it goes. I'm obviously trying to switch it off, and you can hear both our voices change.
That's...
As you go, how long was that? I go, I don't know, and then it goes off. So yeah, sorry about that. I'll clip this one so it'll be a little bit better. Anyway, last Friday was VE Day. Not many celebrations going on. In anyway really, because of lockdown. Although my parents live in a cul-de-sac and they had a street party. Everyone was in their own gardens, so there's plenty of space.
Yes, I saw quite a few people on the local television. They had street parties, but they're all, like you said, they're in the gardens, all socially distancing. But yeah, looks like it was a good time. Not as obviously as good as it would have been if people didn't have to social distance.
Do you remember the 50th anniversary? Do you remember what we were doing?
Oh, no, I don't.
Do you not?
No.
Your mum and dad still had the shop and they had a massive street party in Worcester.
Oh, yes. No, I do remember you saying that now. Yes.
Yeah.
And I got dressed up, didn't I?
Yeah, and we were, or I think you were, because you had your face painted. I think you were in one of the celebratory Worcester books as well. I remember rightly. Or our daughters were.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I was.
Yeah. Anyway, looking through, I haven't got many clips with me, listener, because I haven't got my work laptop, but I've got my personal laptop. And I was flicking through, I've actually got a file of cine film, because my dad was a massive cine film fan. And I have found footage of the 1977 Jubilee, when I was 5.
Oh, wow, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm going to put a little clip on that for the YouTube watchers and listeners. Did you have a big celebration at school?
Yeah, we had a massive... Well, I lived in at the time in Gloucestershire, and we lived in a cul-de-sac, but it was on a circle.
Yeah.
And it was... I remember as a child growing up there, it was fantastic because we used to race around on bikes and run and play football and everything. Because it was safe. You know, there's obviously not as many cars on the road, but also because it was a cul-de-sac and in a circle, it's just ideal.
Yeah.
But yes, I do remember the Jubilee celebrations because my mum and dad were heavily involved in organising them.
Yeah.
For that year, we had literally everybody came out. There wasn't one person who didn't go and join in.
No.
And it was just a fantastic day. Yeah.
Well, I remember my primary school celebrated loads of things. We did a massive Jubilee celebration for the Silver Jubilee in 1977, including a parade of hats. And also we did my year, which was one of the infant years. We did an adaptation of Sing a Song of Sixpence, and I was the maid hanging out the clothes. I remember having the hat on.
Oh.
Yeah, and there was a girl called Julia who was the blackbird that came and pecked off my nose, but there you go. So all celebrations, community celebrations. The Falklands are very good at community celebrations. We had a massive celebration for the wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton. Do you remember that one?
Do you know, no, I don't.
Do you not remember when we sat in our room and there was Tessa and we were sitting there watching it? And we said, I wonder how long it takes to walk from one end to the other. And she went, it takes... She had all these facts that she remembered.
I have to say, though, that I because of my, obviously getting older, memories failing and all that, but my memory is completely crowded, all celebrations are, by our Eurovision celebrations.
Oh, we had massive European celebrations.
Because I get very, very excited about letting off the confetti cannons.
Yes, which we still find weeks later. We have friends round. We've only done it since we've been in the Falklands, I think, haven't we?
We're sort of becoming quite known for the Eurovision celebration.
Mrs. Stanworth, I seem to remember, had a fantastic costume on last year, or the year before it was, wasn't it?
Yes,
Before.
yeah, you know, well, not everybody, but a lot of people get dressed up in their favourite nation.
And it wasn't long ago where I lifted up one of the pictures that were hanging on our walls, and there was confetti behind it. So, you get them everywhere. But there we go. Talking of ageing, Mr. Foams and I have found a new hobby.
Oh my goodness! Are you going to talk? Are you? Is this the?
So boring.
Oh
It's
no,
so
no!
boring.
It's actually brought out the nerd in me again.
It is so boring.
It's
right.
very nerdy.
The house we were staying at in Hampshire, we went for a walk, and there was a postbox down the road, which was a very odd cipher. So that's the monarch's monogram, I guess, that's on the imprinted on the side of the postbox. And it was all curly and that. And when I went to have a look, it was actually Edward the Seventh, which was Queen Victoria's son, I think.
That's right.
For very old, 1901 to 1910. Then that sort of grew when I saw somebody on Twitter that I follow had posted a photograph of a postbox in Alsford, which was obviously nearby, which was Edward the Eighth, and there were only
137 of those
left in the world.
Yes.
So that's grown from there.
I almost feel like we should give clues as where that one is because it is so rare.
Yeah. It's
Look for the lion.
It's on the road back from the supermarket.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Look for the pub that's got a lion in its name.
Oh, we need to go back to the clues in a minute.
Yes.
We were then, when we came here to Gloucestershire, we went into Cheltenham to get to Boots, and there was a Victoria one, which obviously the earliest ones.
Yes, not surprisingly, near to the Cheltenham Ladies College.
Yeah, hexagonal Victorian one.
So that's obviously, she was the first monarch to have a postbox with her cipher on because stamps were introduced in the reign of Queen Victoria.
Oh, and I know, so I've read something about that. The penny black. Do you know the reason when it went from penny black to penny red?
Something to do with the ink?
Yeah, so you could see the cancellation mark.
Yeah,
and that's what it was, yeah. We then found George V somewhere. That was just down the road here, wasn't it? When we went out for a walk there, it was George V.
Yeah, George V is a bit, you know...
Elizabeth II's are all over the place.
Oh, there was to a penny they are.
But in Scotland, it doesn't say Elizabeth II, it just says ER. Because obviously Elizabeth I didn't reign in Scotland.
I know.
Top thing.
Top
so
banana.
we've been on a search for a George VI, which was the only one that was missing.
And it was like London buses. Two of them came up all at once.
Yeah. So we found one and then walked down the road a bit, and there was another one as well. So there's an in the wall and a postbox as well. So if you're still awake and with us, listener, that ends the postbox collection.
It doesn't end the whole postbox saga because Mrs. Foams is now she's taking photos of them. Is going to get them framed and hang them up in our house when we get back home.
Yeah.
So we forever be reminded by our nerdy adventures.
They are pretty nerdy adventures
in coronavirus lockdown.
Yes. So we're joined by Connie, who's just come off her university Zoom meeting. Do you want to say hello to the listener?
Hello.
There we go. I've got a long bit where I was having a real rant this morning because I was trying to send some footage to FITV from here, and listener, I was in such a bad place this morning. I was so grumpy trying to send up this footage, but hopefully I've sorted that all now. Beautiful day around here, isn't it?
Really cold.
Yes, it is beautiful, and but it is a lot cooler than it was over the weekend. So it's probably about 16 degrees, but still bright. But over the weekend it was 25.
Yeah, and expecting to heat up later this week as well.
I hope so, yeah.
Obviously, we're coming into towards landing day for the Falkland Islands. That's next week, isn't it? 21st. But more importantly, is the Mabel. I'm so glad you joined us, Connie.
Yes, the Mabel Princess for 2014, was it?
Yeah, well, 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, listener, just bear with me because it'll all come clear. 6 years ago, on the 13th of May, we had a massive house fire where we lost most of our stuff.
Yes.
But in a pure genius way, as Mr. Foames left the house, you were the last person to leave the house. You grabbed Connie's Mabel dress
And your handbag.
and my handbag.
I mean, inspirational on 2 levels. So many brownie points earned that day.
As I was on the phone to the fire brigade and they said, "Is everybody out of the house?" And I went, "Yes." "Oh no, the guinea pig is still in the kitchen."
Yes.
And he went, "Don't go back for the guinea pig."
No.
So unfortunately, the guinea pig, the only fatality they've had apparently for a house fire is our guinea pig.
Well, I feel like that's a good thing.
He was blind, so we think that he just inhaled and just went to sleep, basically. But 6 years since that, you saved the Mabel dress, which was fantastic, because 2 weeks later was the Mabel, Connie.
I know.
And you looked wonderful in your smoke-free Mabel dress. Could you just describe to the listener what your dress looked like?
It was all, I want to say jewelled, but it wasn't. It was like, it was jewelled, but fake jewels. At the top, it was a sweetheart neckline, and it was strapless, and it was a poofy dress, and I felt like a princess.
Yeah.
I wish I fit in it now.
And it was pink.
And it was pink.
And it was pink.
Connie was crowned the May Princess. There is a May Queen as well, but as May Princess, my proudest moment, can I just say?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
My proudest moment, and if I can find the footage, I'll put that on YouTube as well. As the governor took Connie's hand to kiss it, Connie did what was instinctive in her from doing years of ballet, ballet since she was 3 years old. When the teacher at ballet took your hand, you immediately curtsied. So the governor took her hand and she immediately curtsied. And it was just so lovely.
It was.
Can I just say, it was out of pure panic, because I wasn't going to do it, and then I thought, no, and then I did it.
Well, you did exactly right. Well done.
And it was noticed. It was noticed.
It was very much
Mum.
noticed.
No, and the governor.
And the governor, yeah.
Oh.
I spoke to the governor at a later point and said, my proudest moment. And he went, "I did notice." So there we go. The May Ball is a massive deal, isn't it, in the Falklands, Connie? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So it used to be, it's held for, because of Empire Day, so it's the nearest Friday to Empire Day. It's a 2-day event, so it's a Friday night and a Saturday. On the Friday night, you have to be 15 years and older, up until a couple of years ago.
Oh, I'm going to say that's recently changed.
When they changed to, is it year 10?
I think it's year 10, because in year 10, half the class is still 14 and half the class is still 15.
Which is why that was the problem, that you had half your classmates going and half not. And if it was your birthday on the Sunday and you were 15 on the Sunday, you couldn't go on the... Oh, it's just...
We had that. You had that when we were down there.
Yeah.
A young girl, she got all dressed up because at the following day she was 15 and they wouldn't let her in till midnight.
No. So, unfortunately that happened, but the May Ball is a fantastic event, a real fantastic event. And if you watch the Island Parish that was recorded in the Falklands a few years ago, you will see, I think
2014.
Yeah, it was that day, wasn't it?
I know, because there's me in it.
Of course it is. You'll see that the May Ball there, you'll see Bono Mackay coming in a tie that Tim Miller had given him the year before or something. Let him in, you've got to wear a tie. I think you're writing your vote. You can see you in there because you're writing your vote in there. So yeah, go and check that out and see. And also, I've got here at the side, I've got Connie's Alastair Cameron project.
I did it on dresses.
Yeah.
And Mabel dresses and what people wore in the past.
Because there was quite a
lot of puffy sleeves.
Yeah, well, obviously fashion changes a lot. But I seem to remember the one person you interviewed, didn't they say something about gloves? That everyone wore
gloves.
elbow length white gloves or white gloves, and this one young girl wore dark gloves one year, and that caused a bit of a scandal. So very interesting. That's in the Falkland Islands Journal actually of 2014. I'm guessing was it earlier? 2012.
How times change, eh? How times change.
I think it's 2012.
You do an Alastair Cameron anymore. I think it might be year 9.
So yes, Alastair Cameron was a historian, wasn't he? Falkland Islander, and you do a project in year 7, a project in year 9, or something like that. that's to do with the Falkland Islands, and they print them in the Falkland Islands Journal, which you can get, which you can purchase as well. So that's come to the end of the list that I have to talk about today, and hopefully we can get on and go for a walk now and see the alpacas.
Mum's really
Yeah, they're our next door neighbours, the alpacas.
Anyway, so join us next week where we will be back again, I expect. If you have a look at www.fitv.co.fk, you can catch up on the latest episodes. Where are we keeping you up? Which you can see online of Falklands in Focus, and join us next week.
Bye for now.